Greetings to all real estate selling professionals. Just before speaking another word, may I introduce myself to you as Madam Sophia, the virtual assistant to CTM Joseph NG, your sales and marketing e-coach and e-mentor. Here is the message. Good news. Pedaling Jaya property loans are expected to start recovering from the third quarter of this year, as lockdown restrictions begin easing with the gradual opening of the economy. UOB Kay Hyen, in a report, noted that the mortgage approval rate saw a month-on-month pickup of 4 percentage points in April and 2 percentage points in May, following the lockdown. While this remains below the pre-COVID-19 levels of above 40%, we do not expect banks to further tighten approval standards since they have been fairly stringent even before the onset of the pandemic. We expect to see a recovery in the loan approval rate from the third quarter of 2021, as the loan processing backlog is expected to ease with the gradual reopening of the economy. UOB Kay Hyen said this would also translate to a better conversion rate of property sales, as transacted value historically trends in tandem with the mortgage approval value. Separately, the research house said developers with strong balance sheets have been in buying mode to replenish their land banks for future developments. Sunway, Ma Sing and UEM Sunrise, with relatively low net gearing levels, have each entered into 2 land acquisition deals year to date. We gathered that these land transactions are located in more mature areas in the Klang Valley region. This signals developers' moves to reframe their strategies to focus on high-demand/strategic locations for long-term growth. For instance, UEM Sunrise is buying land in the more prime locales such as Pedaling Jaya and Cheras, which could provide a quicker turnaround. That said, we think cash calls could be minimal at this juncture. Additionally, UOB Kay Hyen said SP Sentia, with its high gearing, had disposed of 960 acres of land with an estimated disposal gain of Rm 290 million. This is in line with the group's strategy to monetize its non-strategic land bank to strengthen cash flow. The group has also identified 9 parcels of land totaling 1,295 acres with a market value of Rm 1.96 billion for outright sales or on a joint venture basis. UOB Kay Hyen also highlighted that the stake sale of Sunway's healthcare unit at robust valuation provides better clarity for the Sunway Healthcare Group's SHG expansion visibility and initial public offering timeline. SHG could see earnings compound annual growth rate of 20% to 25%, giving its ongoing expansion, and this would contribute to about 22% of Sunway's 2023 earnings versus 3% in 2020. We believe the strong growth trajectory of SHG could help Sunway to build a formidable growth engine and increase Sunway's valuation over time. We foresee potentially more asset monetization activities in the property industry amid the soft market outlook. UOB Kay Hyen said key risks to the property sector include a prolonged lockdown that would further dampen the economic outlook and consumer sentiment on big-ticket items, slower than expected progress billings, spiking building material cost and impairments on receivables and completed inventories. End of news. South The Star Papers, August 18, 2021. By the way, don't you think that this news is very encouraging for us? A big yes if you ask me. We now can look forward to a more rosy future? True. Before I leave you, may I introduce your next speaker. She is none other than Madam Florence, another virtual assistant to CTM Joseph NG. Alright.
Thank you, Madam Sophia, for allowing me to finish the final part of this week's Red Hot News. Alright. Oh, before saying another word, may I introduce myself as Madam Florence, another virtual assistant to CTM Joseph NG, your sales and marketing e-coach. Let's roll it, shall we? Chapter 5, the order blank, close quote. During the entire interview, have your order form or contract in front of your customer's eyes. If you can use your contract as your worksheet, do so. As your prospect agrees to each point, write it down until you have clarified the complete sale. By Dottie Walters, President of Walters International Speakers Bureau, as well as a founding member of the National Speakers Association (NSA) and founder of the International Association of Speakers Bureaus. Do you really know an order form may sometimes be used entirely in selling and closing of a sale? But do display your order form from the beginning of the interview. This allows your prospect to become accustomed to seeing the order form before it comes into use. When you reach the point in your interview that you need to record the information relative to the sale, start recording this information on your order form. As you proceed with this, you should start to ask trail closing questions, the answers to which you write on the order form. What constitutes a trail closing question in the order form be skillfully applied on the prospect. These questions should confirm the would-be buyer may reveal signs that he or she would ultimately buy. If your order form meets objection, the sales professional must give a valid excuse and then proceed smoothly. Easy to recall if need be. Conclusion: to wrap this type of closing method, better known as the order blank close, it is important to understand there may be obstacles in its execution. Nevertheless, it is yet another great way to close the sales. My workshop attendee has used this method effectively, so have I. Even if you may have not tested this method, I personally urge you to try it out yourself. Believe it or not, it never fails you. You can bet your last dollar or ringgit it will work. My last few words of this chapter are best ended with a quote by William Clement Stone, a successful businessman, philanthropist and New Thought self-help book author. He says, "Sales are contingent upon the attitude of the salesman, not the attitude of the prospect." What more can I say but to bid you goodbye and hoping to see you in the next chapter. Agree. End of chapter 5. Are you happy with this chapter? I hope you are. Before closing, on behalf of Madam Sophia and CTM Joseph, we wish you all the best and happy selling.